everyone, and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, the kings of Fast Castle meet on the grasslands of Arabia as Hoang, playing as the Saracens in red, prepares to take on Redphosphoru, playing as the Hindustanis in blue. Now, all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal, most likely Castle. Knowing these two players, not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Saracens are a civilization whose strong market can be used to gain an early to mid-game advantage over their opponents. To start with, their markets only cost 75 wood, and their commodity trading fee is fixed at 5% right at the very beginning of the game, which is significantly lower than the 30% that other civilizations have to pay when they, for example, buy food early on to go up to Castle Age. Now, using this economic advantage, the Saracens can field quite a hard-hitting, tanky army. Their foot archers come with an attack bonus against buildings, which makes their Feudal Age aggression a little bit scarier than usual. Their camels come with 25% more HP. Their trebs, mangonels, and onagers can be upgraded to increase their attack by 15%. And their unique unit, the Mameluke, is a ranged melee camel unit that comes with a pretty big attack bonus against cavalry. Now, if, as sometimes happens, you find yourself with a few injured units after a battle in this game, well, then Saracen monks can be, upgrade. I was going to say can be healed, but no, they can be upgraded to automatically and passively heal units within a 5-tile radius, all units within a 5-tile radius, at a ridiculous rate of 75 HP healed per minute. Now, pivoting to the south, perhaps the one trying to cause some reduction in HP in the Saracen units, we've got Redphosphoru playing as the Hindustanis in blue, a civilization that does whatever it can to push an army composition made up of gunpowder and camel units. To start with, all of their gunpowder units come with extra armor, and their hand cannoneers can be upgraded to get 2 extra range. Now, Hindustani camels also come with a few cool features. To start with, they do have an attack bonus against buildings, of all things, which addresses one of my main issues with camels in this game, which is that they absolutely suck at destroying buildings. Second, Hindustani camels do attack 20% faster. And lastly, they have access to the Imperial Camel Rider, a fairly strong, very tanky, super fast, upgraded version of the already awesome Heavy Camel Rider. Now, in order to defend their hand cannoneers, their camels, from pesky, annoying ranged units that might want to snipe them, the Hindustanis can turn to a second unique unit, the Gulam. We have seen this unit used recently, and it is a super cool one. An anti-archer infantry unit that moves quickly, has high pierce armor, and attack bonus against archers, and that actually can injure multiple units at once with its spear. Now, in order for the Hindustanis to support the quick let's just say quick production of their expensive units, their villagers do become cheaper and cheaper as the game goes on. By the way, starting in the Dark Age, they're already currently 8% cheaper, and then 13, 18, and 23, because of course the developers didn't like the 5, 10, 15, 20. They had to make it 8, 13, 18, and 23. And the Hindustani economy can be made much more efficient by increasing the speed of all gold income by 10% and reducing the commodity trading fee from 30% to 10%, which, by the way, makes it the second lowest in the game after the Saracens. So a pretty cool Civ matchup. You've got two very fun camel civilizations with two of the lowest commodity trading fees in the game. The Saracens, of course, get it free of charge, gratis, automatically. And Hoang in the Dark Age already getting stoned. So, okay, Hoang is expecting a Castle Age push here out of our Hindustani. Now, if you've been following the whole... Age of Empires, our community loves to go from hot topic to hot topic. It went from, from very recent memory, it went all the way from Flemish Revolution all the way now. We're discussing the fast castle builds of Redphosphoru, who is quite the designer of these strategies. I remember watching some of his live streams, and he loves to call himself a theory crafter first, I believe an enjoyer of the game second, and a player third, but doesn't really matter. He has basically introduced a very powerful, very quick, very deadly fast castle meta, but it's with civilizations whose unique units that come out of castles are wood and gold only, not flesh and blood like the Gulam, for example. So I'm very curious to see what he can accomplish here with a civilization whose unique unit is a food and gold one instead of, for example, as we saw, Bengalis or Koreans or Portuguese with the organ guns. So I'm curious to see what this build is, because right now both players are heading up to the Feudal Age. Phosphorus on a bit more of a standard, faster castle with 22 villagers to the 19 of Hoang. Although Hoang's been mining stone for a long time now, and he's going to hit Feudal first. Let's see if he sells any of it to rush up to Castle Age. Let's see if he uses it for a defensive posture. In any event, has Hoang... I don't think Hoang has actually seen where his opponent is. Big surprise when you spawn in this location that he went immediately here and not to the bottom left of the screen. Both of the players actually it doesn't look like Redphosphoru is scouted at all, and Hoang has seen, he's seen the stone. Okay, so he knows that this is some kind of faster castle play. Plops down a market. Where is your secondary structure, Mr. Saracen? Okay, no secondary structure just yet. Hoang has 84 2x4s in his bank account, in his garage. Not quite enough to plop down anything other than a few palisade walls, and now he's exploring the recesses of Redphosphoru's base, who also has now hit the Feudal Age. Immediately market, immediately blacksmith. So the good old blacksmith market combo tells us that with 600 food... Actually, is he going to sell his stone? Because he doesn't have the resources to go up to Castle Age once these two structures complete. Why is he rushing this with 2 villagers when he doesn't have... Okay, Hoang actually sold stone and bought food. Okay, so actually, are they both going to sell all their stone? Are we seeing an off-meta meta from both of these off-meta players? Phosphorus is now scouted the good old blacksmith market combo. He knows this is going to be a faster castle from his opponent, but does he care? He is already heading up to the next stage, and he sold 100 stone and 100 wood for it, and now at 593 stone, he's abandoned his stone? Okay, so he saw something here in Hoang's base that has scared him, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's got to be this, right? He saw that Hoang's already prepared a defense for him with more villagers, 8 villagers on the stone, than probably is healthy for a good society. And now Phosphorus sold 400 stone also. Okay, so Hoang with the better market rate and hitting the market first gets a much better deal for his stone. And looks like we may have the first kill of the game. Let's follow along here. And then I'm very curious to see what their actual settlements look like, because right now neither player has enough stone to do what they really want to do. Although Hoang generally with the forward, okay, does get the first kill of the game, does our red Saracen. Hoang generally with the forward siege workshop when it comes to more siege inclined civilizations. Now the Saracens are nothing if not siege inclined. I think they're only missing heavy scorpion. Their tech tree is fantastic. But for now, it looks like it's Redphosphoru who's putting on the aggression. So let's take a look at these bases as our Hindustani is going to hit the next age first. Has 466 wood. Immediately double siege workshop. Okay. Double siege workshop for a second. Misclick, I guess, and now puts down a monastery. So we're seeing a smush out of our Hindustani against the Saracens. Okay. Let's see how that works out for him. Hoang might want to scout this. How much has Hoang actually seen? By the way, I didn't even have a chance to look at where all the primary and secondary resources are located. Looks like Hoang has also not really seen, hasn't seen his 3rd gold here to the back, and is about to have his secondary gold lamed. Oh, it is imperative for Hoang. It is imperative because he is planning for and preparing for some kind of castle push or castle drop. Although, again, I question whether or not he should be, since, yeah, look at that. He's already preparing a defensive castle. This is like playing an arena match, suspecting your opponent is going to tower push you, and then preemptively putting down a tower without knowing where your opponent's coming from. Oh, Redphosphoru misses an opportunity. Should have fired on these villagers first. And now the castle for sure is going to go up. I mean, it was always going to go up. Who's kidding who? But a missed opportunity there for our blue Hindustani to get a few villager kills. Has Hoang now seen? Yeah, so he's seen that his opponent is off the gold. He has seen that there is a mining camp over here. And oh my goodness. Mamelukes. Okay, this might be one of the very few cases Is he going to get the monk? Is he going to get a monk? Did he get the monk? Or was that a self-kill from Redphosphoru? No, 2 kills. That is definitely a self-kill. So what a sour turn of events there. Losing 100 gold for your monk and not converting that scout unit. But he is managing to push Hoang off this stone. So this might be one of the few scenarios, cases where maybe the Mameluke is not the way to go. Now, those of you who have joined us on our live streams know how much I fanboy over the Mameluke, who is heading across the map. Of course he is. He sees Redphosphoru's entire effort, energy, his entire being invested in this forward push, which means there is absolutely nothing at home. And these guys do melee range damage of an 8. So they will take down Mangonels very quickly, who have 0 melee armor. These aren't exactly ironclad Teutonic siege units. But what a brilliant move out of Hoang to attack in the rear here. 2 villagers, 3. Let's see how many he can get how many kills he can get here. So far 4, 5. I think 6 is going to be all she wrote. 6 shall be the number of the counting for our Saracen. But at the same time, his second town center, which he placed in between. What a fantastic location for this town center. If this wasn't here, this gold pile would be absolutely unmineable. Is he going to get any more? It looks like he's gotten just the 6 so far. And Redphosphoru's entire economy is literally on wood. That is a, look at it, 15,000. It is all on wood. What a great location for a TC here for our Saracen. Like I said, if this was in the rear position, it would not be covering this gold, but now it is a basically a sponge designed to soak up mangonel shots, and ouch, that you can't keep doing. Because has Hoang actually explored? No. Where are the stables? As formidable as this push may look, and he gets a converted Mameluke, does our Hindustani as well. As powerful as this is, well, it looks like those 3 monks returned home and were able to shoo away the Mamelukes. Of course they were. So whose micro is going to beat out whose micro here? We've got 2 Mangonel warriors. Okay, now it's Hoang's turn to get a kill. But more importantly, let's see how Redphosphoru's monk micro is in this game. Because like I said, as formidable as this army does appear to be, Mangonels, monks, and now a converted Mameluke, 2 stables pumping out some light cavalry units will overwhelm and destroy this position very quickly. Target number 1, target number 2, target number 3, target number 4, the villagers. Now he moves in here, 3 monks. Okay. Oh man, Hoang saw the 3 monks at home, which by the way are still at home, and suspected that, hey, there's no way he's gonna have 3 more monks, right? No, he has 3 more monks. And our Redphosphoru has contracted the high elo player, what do we want to call it, itch? The Age of Empires equivalent of an STI. They just can't be idle. They're always building something. ABC, always be constructing. Mameluke takes a bunch of rocks to the face, lives to tell the tale, gets healed. And remember, like I said, they do melee damage, against which this Mangonel has no defense. I was, of course, just joking about the STI. That is a gross thing to say. Mutually assured destruction between the Mangonels. Army counts are at a whopping 5 for Hoang, 10 for Redphosphoru. But Hoang does have a 30% bigger economy right up until that pancake got 2 of those villagers. Now all of a sudden it's a 25% bigger economy. And Hoang says, you know what? If you're over here, chances are you're not down here. And so I'm just going to go mine my stone. Why is he mining more stone? Does he just want to get up to 100 for another town center? Now there are 5 monks in the forward position. So the army is slowly growing more powerful here for Redphosphoru. Now the one... Okay, that's one way to deal with it. Redphosphoru does not have enough gold here for redemption. And so Hoang's Mangonels are going to be a big issue. And he is continuing to focus on the town center. He's not destroying any more infrastructure. Neither player really exploring the map or the bases. This is just an all-in from both. All-in offense, all-in defense. Oh, those villagers missed an opportunity to poke and prod at the Mameluke a little bit on his way out. Market's still up, blacksmith's still up. I mean, again, it's a Saracen market that only costs 75 wood, but it's still, you know, you're not really destroying this town center, right? And where that villager, he has the 100 stone that he needs for another town center. So this is clearly not for a town center. That villager probably better allocated into wood, right? Hoang's wood count is really, really low. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Two monks bite the dust, and now he's left with 4. This might be a good opportunity here for our Saracen. Although, I mean, charging in with 6 Mamelukes, losing 4 of them to conversion means that all of a sudden you go from a 6-0 army lead to a 2-4 army deficit. Are the 3 monks, by the way, still back here? Oh, he needs to bring these monks forward. As much as you might think you want them on defense, you need them here in the forward position. Mangonel gets 2 monks. 1 Mameluke gets converted. Oh, and I don't know if it was the micro. I don't know what it was, but all of a sudden, target number 1, the monks. Target number 2, the Mangonel. Target number 3, the villagers. And that's it. Where's the GG? Oh, no, never mind. He still has 2 Mangonels. He clips. That was an amazing attack round there at Redphosphoru. The follow-up attack rounds have been absolutely atrocious. Now, I'm expecting a GG, or I'm at least expecting some kind of push out here by our Saracen. Another monk pops out to the top. We've got another monk hiding inside this monastery. So still, the monks are such a threat to this Mameluke army. Not exactly the fastest moving at the moment. And so now they're heading south again, but this is where maybe Redphosphoru was a little prescient here and left those 3 monks at home, suspecting that he could engage into Hoang's army in the forward position. So what a weird but very strategic game. The kill count's very low. The action is not massive army to massive army, but holy moly. And now Hoang's returning to the scene of the crime. He's going to see whether or not there's any villagers on stone. He sees none. So he's going to pivot into the gold. Redphosphoru doesn't see any of this. He doesn't know where those Mamelukes are. He's about to, though. They've got 11 kills. Let's see how many more they can get before the monks get activated. 2 before the monks get activated, and... okay, only 2 kills. See, that would be a perfect time for Hoang to attack from a different direction with 2 or 3 Mamelukes maybe over here, now that the monks are all the way out of position. But did the town center just get a Mangonel kill? That is very unfortunate for Redphosphoru. He's gonna have to kill this Mangonel for free, which he might. He does get it. Okay, so now the loss of that 1 Mangonel not as sour as it would have been. Both players just continuing to train Mangonels. But one side has 6 Mamelukes, one side has 8 monks. This is just such a fantastic game out of these two. So I thought we were going to see I was running my mouth about Fast Castle Gulam and how it's different than wood and gold intensive units. No, we went Fast Castle, but forget the stone. The mind games out of Redphosphoru. Was it mind games, or did he always just intend to sell the stone that he got here in exchange for gold to buy food to go up to Castle Age? I love this location for a castle. I absolutely love this location. Hoang is not training any more villagers. You know what this castle is? The statement that this castle makes? The statement that it makes is, I'm sick and tired of repairing this town center, so take it. I don't give a rat's ass about this town center anymore. You're not taking my gold mining. There's another mining camp to the rear. Yeah, this is exactly it. The town center is a sacrificial lamb at this point. Oh, and he loses another Mangonel. He has no more mangoes. He has the resources for more mangoes, but no more mangoes out on the field at the moment. 2 siege workshops not really training. And that's all she wrote. Despite a good amount of aggression, the critical damage has not been done. He's seen the second castle go up, which means, to be fair, he could have gotten this town center. It's at basically 2 or 3 mangonel shots away from falling and collapsing in on itself. But what a fun game. Did Redphosphoru mine the stone just to sell it, or was this all a mine game? Because the second Hoang discovered it, not exactly the second, but once Hoang discovered it, he immediately pivoted to the south. And so this is very much a Redphosphoru build where no villagers whatsoever. He's on 17 villagers. It's all wood and gold. The only difference is, instead of having the stone to build a castle, generally the build would be maybe build a castle like right here so that it defends the gold and the wood. And that way you have access to 3,200 gold and a whole bunch of wood, and you can keep pumping out your unique unit. But because the unique unit here is flesh and blood, like I said, the Gulam, which costs food and gold and not wood and gold, even though it's not that food intensive, I think it's just 30 food and 45 gold. This was so much fun to see. Abandons ship the second he can sell it, and has 88. May have wanted to stick around just for maybe 12 more rocks, 12 more pebbles, so that he could get to 100 and then sell that 100, but doesn't really matter. We saw the Redphosphoru modified build and immediately started pumping out wood and gold and just gold intensive units. He's got right before he GG'd 9 villagers on gold, and with that he was able to pump out 8 monks. And like I said, he still has enough resources here for, what is that, 2 mangonels, I think. But at the end of the day, yeah, now that the castle is up, even if he destroys the market, the blacksmith, houses, I was going to say granary, but that's not a structure in this game. The mill in the town center, there's really not much that he can do to further push into here. His economy's been so lamed. And so a modified Redphosphoru build, a fun one to see, actually. So he still is focusing on the same thing, just this time, instead of getting 650, or I guess 450 stone to top up to 650 to get a castle, he just sells it, rushes up to Castle Age. Hoang, on his part, thought this was going to be a more standard castle push, and so sight unseen builds his castle before he even saw that this infrastructure was here, before the mangonel even showed up over here, and for some reason attacked the villagers at the house and not the constructing villagers, which was, I think, a bit of a missed opportunity there to kill 1 or 2 villagers. Sight unseen placed the castle. Now, I also think Hoang could have dealt with all of this probably 10 minutes ago by forgetting the gold altogether, building 2 stables, bumping out 8 or 10 light cavalry units, and then just absolutely overrunning this position, because there's nothing monks are going to do. I mean, these are not, yeah, okay, fine. They're 45 HP, but they're not, aside from that, they're pretty much, it's open season on monks if you shove in with a bunch of light cav. And wow, what a fun mind games full. What a fun game full of mind games. Let's put it like that. I love that Hoang came here with his Mamelukes, saw nothing, attacked into the gold, got shooed away by the monks, then returned with even more Mamelukes. This time Hoang, with double town center, double castle, does ultimately hold here against this modified Redphosphoru push. So let's take a look at the numbers, the stats. 11 Mamelukes to 16 monks. I mean, the 16 monks, let's see how many conversions he got. I suspect it's just the 1, which would be a very unfortunate statistic, but it is what it is. Hoang was also behind on mangonels, but did take some good engagements there. And okay, so it's obviously 2 Mamelukes are converted, and then Hoang didn't even build any other unit, just his starting scout. PKPM right, oh look at that, PKPM right at the beginning of the game for both players. So furiously gearing their feudal or their dark age economies to where they want it to be. Economy's not too dissimilar, about 10-15% apart, although the game wasn't really very long. Wood and gold, big surprise for Redphosphoru. This is basically his entire build order, meta, whatever you want to call it. Food and stone. There's your Mamelukes and your castles to train them for our Saracen. 2 conversions out of 20 is still 10%. And by the way, it's 2 Mameluke conversions, which are not bad at all. And at the end of the day, Hoang killed 10 villagers, Redphosphoru killed 6. And Hoang has just double the kill count. Disrupts the disruptor here. What a fantastic... I mean, all of this was so much fun. I love, by the way, that they both went scouting in a completely different direction. I don't know if Redphosphoru's scout in the beginning was chasing Hoang's or if he thought that Hoang, because if I spawned in this location where Redphosphoru is on the map, I would assume that my opponent is here. And if I spawned where Hoang spawned, I would assume that my opponent is here. But this is Age of Empires, and so sometimes you spawn over here and your opponent spawns immediately below you, leaving, what is this, 2/3 of the map completely dead space. So what a fun game out of both players. A modified Redphosphoru build, a modified defensive Hoang, showing, flexing his muscle with 2 castles. Again, Mameluke, maybe not the unit I would have thought. The Saracens, if I'm not mistaken, have an absolute perfect cavalry line up until Cavalier, right? Their knight is as good as it gets, like the Teuton with the scout. But beyond that, they have all the upgrades, all the fixins for their light cavalry line, which is, again, the bane of this kind of build. But ultimately doesn't really matter. It is Hoang with the fantastic hold, the counter attacks, and the scouting, more importantly, of his opponent's base. Not so much scouting of his own base. Who's getting who? If he saw that this gold was here, he probably would have gone after it. But it is Hoang at the end of the day who holds against the modified Phosphoru build, is victorious, but GG in a very fun game to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.